year during the regular season, but still great memories whenever Sean Payton returns to the Caesars Superdome. 15 years the head coach of the Saints, and an unforgettable Super Bowl championship season in 2009. So starting now in his third year as the head coach of the Broncos, your former head coach. So you've got plenty of stories on Sean Payton.
Lots of great shared memories with most of Who Dat Nation, especially with that Super Bowl year. It's almost strange seeing him on the visitors' sideline.
Kellen Moore, youngest head coach in the NFL at 36 years of age, and a Super Bowl champion last year as the offensive coordinator, of course, of the Philadelphia Eagles. But it's good to see what has developed for the Saints, because if anything, they went outside. Let Kellen Moore put his own staff together. Blade over to the near side. Jackson over to the far side, waiting for the Blake Grupe kick. And we're just about set for the final preseason game. Hywan takes a one-hopper. And stumbling his way across the 15 is Courtney Jackson. So the starting quarterback, and what a story Bo Nix was last year out of Oregon. So Sean Payton invested a great deal in this young man, and his athleticism also Stinch helps. When you're only sacked 24 times, give credit to the offensive line, but the mobility, you're 17 games, 24 sacks, that's pretty strong.
It was a great union between a smart processor of a quarterback similar to what New Orleans has known for many, many years, and under that Sean Payton realm and reign, similar to Drew Brees, but certainly I would say Bo Nix has a little bit of an athletic advantage.
Get out on the edge. Reception is incomplete. So it was trapped. Good coverage. It was intended for Courtney Sutton. Sutton, 8th year out of SMU, and a career best 81 catches for him last year.
And Amadi, one-on-one coverage with a little shallow cross, able to break up the pass, get his hand in on the football.
It'll be 2nd and 10. Put it back at the 20. R.J. Harvey in the backfield, in the eye. Looking for a crease between his center and guard. So they stack him at the 23. Short gain, and brings up an early 3rd down. So now some of the starters like Gottschall, Devin Gottschall out of LSU, getting opportunities to get some snaps and game speed.
That's it, right in the middle of your screen, lined up. Gottschall is a difference maker. You see the space eater. That was a point of emphasis this entire offseason for this Saints defense, is how do they improve their run game. It starts in the middle, and Gottschall is that addition to that defensive front that they feel like is really going to stabilize the center of that 3-4.
They were 31st against the run out of 32 teams last year, giving up 141 yards. It's going to be Bade in the backfield with Nix, and a timeout is called.
Delay a game. Offense number 10. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
That's on the far sideline. One of the coaches trying to get a timeout and didn't get it in time. So a 5-yard mark off at a 3rd and long. Broncos, one of the better stories last year, of course, in the NFL, going to the playoffs. And going to the playoffs for the first time in a long time. It had been 8 seasons. Lost in the first round of the Buffalo Bills, but still just to get there. Nix now with plenty of time. It collapses. Underneath it goes wide of the intended target, and a wide open target for him in Courtland Sutton.
We saw Nix work through his progression. Brzee able to get home late on some line movement. Interesting lineup for this Saints defensive front. You had Cam Jordan, Brzee to one side, Carl Granderson, Chase Young to the other. Brzee's able to finally get pressure on Nix. Coverage held up on the back end, tried for an underneath throw, and forced a 4th down.
Jeremy Crawshaw out of Florida. The only punter taken in the draft this year is 6th rounder. Pettis at the 40 on a wobbler. Good field position for the Saints as he's out of bounds close to the midfield stripe. So Spencer Rattler getting the start. And what a finish for him last week to produce a tie for the Saints. He hooked up well a couple of times with Tipton, a couple of times with Pettis, and the two-point conversion to tie it up at 17 apiece. And the Saints needed one more second, didn't they? Just one more second last week.
Half a second.
Kamara seeing his first snap of the preseason. Good throw, and it's complete. Chris Olave. So multiple options on the rollout to the far side of the field for Rattler.
The same concept that Denver started with. Bo Nix rolled out. Now you have Spencer Rattler, a little play action. Roll out, works to his second progression. Able to hook up with Olave for the first down.
Yeah, nice decoy to have Kamara in the backfield, too. You have to account for him. Kendre Miller takes over. Looking for a crease, and a good crease for Kendre Miller. And a good run on first down. Gets about 8 up to down to the 31. Man, second and short. We always talk about on schedule, off schedule. That's the ultimate. If you can get 5 or more on a first down run play.
Well, it helps when you have Eric McCoy back in the middle. Interesting little fold block. Cesar Ruiz blocks down. Eric McCoy is able to wrap around, get up on the backer, and create a huge gash for Kendre to work with.
First 3 wide receivers into the game. A little delay action. And on tackle, didn't work, but it's going to be coming back on a flag. Looks like a holding call against the Saints. Would have been a first down.
Holding. Offense number 83. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
Juwan Johnson, the tight end, is called for the hold.
You know, I mentioned Eric McCoy. First time seeing him this preseason, but what a resource for these young quarterbacks, whether it's Spencer Rattler or Tyler Shuck. His ability to not only get everyone on the same page, but also perform at a high level really stabilizes this offensive line.
And a Pro Bowler 2 years ago for the Saints. Here comes the blitz, and off the fingertips of Kendre Miller as he's ready to get drilled by Surtain. It's Pat Surtain II. His dad, a product and a quarterback at Edna Carr High School. In fact, his dad led Edna Carr to the first state championship back in 1993. Now, what a year he had. He's now in his 5th season out of Alabama. Defensive Player of the Year in 2024. Going to be 3rd and long. Well, the pocket hold up enough time, and it's punched away from Brandon Cooks. Guess who? Pretty good cover guy, isn't he? Surtain.
Yeah, Surtain was right on it. A little sticks route, trying to get the first down. Obviously, the penalty was a crusher. He's matched up, man-to-man coverage. Brandon Cooks sits, gets a little handsy. There's a couple coaches upset on the sideline. Saints sidelines wanted to see a flag come out. Did not get it.
Blake Grupe, who had a long of 57 yards last year. It's going to be a 56-yard attempt. Kai Kroger, the punter, on the hold. And on its way, he's got plenty. That's better than 60 yards. He got 56, but you can see it go through the uprights. So good to know if you need 60 plus, it's good by Grupe. And first drive stalls because of the penalty, but the Saints still get points. Our replays this afternoon all sponsored by Rouse's, official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. And welcome back to Big Easy. Along with John Stinchcomb, Aaron Summers, Joel Myers, a good start for the Saints. Penalty denied them another first down and would have been close to red zone territory. They settle with a 56-yard field goal by Grupe, who gets ready to kick it away once again. Jackson to the near side. Bade over to the far side for the Denver Broncos. And the low line drive, backpedaling. It's going to be Bade. He'll bring it out from the goal line. And looking for a lane, and a good land at that as he breaks the arm tackle. And a really good return. So Lane over to the right side. Man, once again, close to the midfield stripe. This time it's for the Denver Broncos. A 48-yard return. And looking ahead now, it opens with the Cardinals. So a couple of games at home, and that doesn't hurt for a new staff, does it?
No, that's where you want it. But you look at that first quarter, and following that, you go all the way to the West Coast in Seattle with the Seahawks, followed by back to Buffalo, New York for the Bills.
Yeah, but if you're going to face the Bills, better in September than December.
Amen.
Nix dumps it off in the flat. A short gain for Troy Franklin. Now in his second season out of Oregon, their 4th-round draft choice last year. Guess who? Demario Davis over on the sideline to make the play. It's a short gain of about 3 to the midfield stripe. So the second possession of the game for Denver. Boy, so many of your counterparts that you worked with are on the sideline with the Denver Broncos now, and Sean Payton. It's 2nd and 7. He wanted the dump off. That was taken away, and the tight end makes the grab, and that's a former Saint who got popped, and that's Adam Troutman.
He got popped by Carl Granderson, who's actually in coverage. Watch, Carl's drops into coverage, sees the flow of the play. Amadi's pressuring. That's one of those catches that you feel for the next couple of days, because Granderson puts his shoulder into him, flexes on him a little bit.
And that's something we talked about in the 3-4, Granderson dropping in coverage.
Yeah, so with the variety pack of pressures that you can bring from a 3-4, it also demands these outside players to not just rush the passer every down.
Over to the left side, won't get there. Needed about 6 on 3rd down, and a good play by Amadi.
Yeah, Amadi's had a great camp. Wants to make an impact once season rolls around, because he's showing up time and time again. Certainly has this series, pressuring Nix on the play before, and then setting an edge, forcing the cutback, makes the tackle, forcing a 4th down on that 3rd down play.
And it looks like they might go for it. They need about 6. Body in the backfield. Nix will go for it. A long count out of the gun. And on the back shoulder throw, it's complete. And a 1st down for Sutton. An alert play, turning around just in time. Cortland Sutton out of SMU, working against Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Yeah, press man coverage right here, understanding the situation. Nix throws the back shoulder. Kool-Aid was asking for a little push off right there, doesn't get it. Extends the series.
So conversion on 4th down. Harvey's going to get the single set in the backfield with Nix. From the 34 of the Saints. Pocket. It holds up, and it's dropped. Evan Ingram out of Ole Miss, now in his 9th year. Former 1st-round pick of the Giants. He turned around, tried to run before he controlled it.
And Nix puts it on him, but you can see he was already looking upfield. Ingram frustrated with himself because the ball was perfectly placed and he wasn't able to come up with a catch.
2nd and long. Good to see Pete Werner out there, because Werner was the closest Saint on the coverage. On the dump off, not much there for the running back. That's R.J. Harvey out of Central Florida. He was a 2nd-round pick this year, and Pete Werner accounted for him very quickly.
Yeah, closed on it, no yak yards. It's kind of what R.J. Harvey brings to the table for the Broncos. And athletic playmaker in space. Pete Werner shut that down before he had a chance to turn upfield.
So outside of the 32, it was going to be 3rd and about 8. Nix out of the gun, pressure from the outside, and he eludes that and picks up the 1st down in the dump off. His body, former Missouri Tiger, now in his 2nd season. And boy, what a resourceful. And that's what I said about Nix to start the game. You only have 24 sacks on a guy, shows the mobility and escapability of the quarterback.
What a difference maker that was. You see the pocket collapse and somehow able to escape, find a receiver. Just remarkable play by Nix just to find a way to get out of that collapsing pocket.
It started back close to the midfield stripe after the good return. And now 1st and 10 at the 16. The fade for the corner. And Sutton. And that was good coverage by McKinstry that time.
Yeah, McKinstry step for step with Sutton down the sideline. Similar to that 4th down conversion where they threw the back shoulder. Now Nix goes for the fade. McKinstry's able to get his hands up, force a really hard throw. They expect a lot from Kool-Aid this year. Steps in his sophomore season, if you will. High expectations.
2nd and 10. And on the toss, kick out block, not available on the edge. So Pete Werner was over there. And they got to R.J. Harvey.
And it starts with Cam Jordan. I mean,
turns it in.
He just doesn't age. It is so impressive to watch him play. But
and a new role on the edge.
And more opportunity and space, I think, is what you're trying to create for him, along with Chase Young and Carl on those edges. But he's always been so good, not only rushing the passer, but affecting the run game. Takes a lot of pride in it.
It's a 3rd down. A little screen. Won't get there. Inside the 15 to the 14. Get his body on the reception. Man, Julian Blackman out of the secondary wrapping things up. You talked about Blackman and Reed, the safeties, in the top of the telecast.
Well, you look at the Saints are flying around right now. Mario Davis cuts off lanes to the inside. Blackman finishes off in position. They forced a 4th down conversion and now forcing a field goal attempt.
Will Lutz, former Saint, coming off the best year of his career, a Pro Bowler last year. And he's got a 32-yard field goal to tie things up. So the Saints get the job done defensively, hold him to 3, and we're all even at the Dome. It's tied at 3. Boy, it's going to be interesting. And as much as you get pumped up for the preseason because this is your first job as a head coach, you're 36 years old, I can only imagine the heart through the ribcage. That's going to be brought back by Jones. Daniels coming over to the right side. He's going to land past the 30. Good return by Velez Jones. But as I mentioned, Kellen Moore at 36 2 weeks from now, man, is it going to be exciting for him. But what about Darren Rizzi and all the coaches that were Saints coaches now with Sean Payton?
It's amazing how many Super Bowl rings are on the far sideline. They have a fleur-de-lis on them. That's familiar great. Faces everywhere.
Big Zach. We don't like him, we love him. Your old teammate, Zach Streif.
So many connections.
From the 38, quick toss. And the completion. That's a high percentage play, especially when you get a kick out block for Olave, and he gets about 7 on 1st down. On schedule, as offense coordinators like to say.
Roland, what's remarkable so far in this game is the energy that the Saints have brought to it. You saw the defense flying around, and with the exception of the penalty, which became a drive killer from the offense, they've come out trying to hit on all cylinders as well.
Kendre Miller, the single in the backfield as Juwan Johnson shifts over to the slot on the left side. And on a deep play fake. Rattler in trouble. And they're going to call it a fumble. No, now they say after some indecision that the arm was moving forward. So he lost his footing. He was off balance. There is a flag on the play.
Yeah, Saints trying to take a shot right there.
Holding. Defense number 21. That 5-yard penalty will be enforced from the previous spot. Automatic 1st down.
That's the starter from last year, Riley Moss, out of the corner. Third year corner from Iowa.
Play action, rollout Rattler. He's looking for the deep shot, loses his footings, trying to hit his check down. But there's Rashid Shaheed. Let me just tell you, you let him get behind you, and you're going to want to grab because he can fly right past you.
1st down for the Saints, right at the midfield strike. A little misdirection. Kendre Miller trying to make the most of it. Close to 4 on the carry. Brought down by Malcolm Roach. The guy who played for the Saints. We was talking about the staff of some of the players. Malcolm Roach was here for 3 years as well.
They have a number that they brought with them. Lutz, you've already mentioned.
Well, it's a comfort zone when you know a guy and you know his ethic and what he brings to the table.
Same for the Saints.
Right.
They bring in a number of players. Staley's relation with Rumpf and Blackman. Others added to their roster as well.
Bradley, short drop. Got the wide receiver is Rashid Shaheed on the reception. Another first down on the gain of 9. Bradley looks comfortable in the pocket, doesn't he?
And found the open receiver in the soft spot of the zone.
So it started back at the 38 of the Saints. Now all the way to the 37. Tied at 3. A little more than 4 minutes to play in the opening 15 minutes. Running right into the edge man who was coming off, and that was Jonathan Cooper, the outside backer. And he was contained, and he was right there, wasn't he?
Yeah, so in this system, watch him work through his progression. Pump fakes, doesn't like what he sees, tried to escape. And that's when Cooper's able to wrap him up and bring him down for a sack. So, yeah, as you're evaluating, I think we all are. Anyone's trying to figure out how does a quarterback get his edge, and what you do in those situations matters. Are you going to force the ball, or are you going to make a bad situation worse, or are you moving on to the next play?
3 wide receivers set. Play fake. Middle of the field, and it's behind Shaheed. Well, he had room.
The RPO concept. Spencer sees what he likes on the edge. Rashid Shaheed matched up, has an in-breaking route with a outside leverage cornerback. Leaves it a little behind, but you can see Shaheed wants it back. He feels like he should have came away with that catch. I'm sure Spencer does as well. Love to put it right between the numbers.
Yeah, and space. He had to push it against Sertan. Now 3rd and 14. Pressure underneath. It's complete to Olave. Short of first down to field goal territory. You don't want to go for it on 4th, and they won't. They'll bring Groupie and the placement group on the field. Well, the pressure came in that sequence as the drive stalled. Started back at the 38. Good field position, and the Saints have had really good field position. It's going to be a 49-yard attempt coming up. Groupie just hit one from 56. 84% on his career coming into the new season. Good placement. We're spoiled, aren't we? 6-3 lead, 2:39 left in the first quarter, and the Saints back on top. Saints preseason football, all presented by the Gulf Coast Sports and Entertainment Network, official broadcast partner of the Pels. And the Pels executive vice president with us in just a little bit, by Louisiana Dental Center, dental home team, and by Rouse's. Get community coffee, the Saints official coffee, family owned for over 105 years at Rouse's, the official supermarket of the Saints. It's a Saturday, it's not a Sunday, but they're in midseason form of the stands, aren't they? Now it's going to be Body over to the near side. Jackson on the far side, waiting for the grouping kick. A low line drive for nice. Jackson will bring it back from inside the 5. Just barely across the 20. Let's check in with Aaron Summers.
Louisiana native and former defensive tackle at LSU, Devon Godshaw joined the team this offseason. He fits perfectly into this new Brandon Staley defense, and he's also been the perfect leader for this defensive line. All day long, you can see Brian Brzee follow him around at the facility, and even though they don't play the same positions, he's teaching these guys what it takes every single day, day in and day out, to be able to play 9 years in the NFL at an extremely high level. Coach Staley said he's absolutely elevating the culture with his experience. He sets a great example, and he loves everything that he has brought to this team so far.
We've got him out there, and so many of the ones out there for the final preseason game. Nick stays in at quarterback. Bounce outside. It's R.J. Harvey. Brought down Monty. Out on the edge. There is a flag down on the play after a gain of about 2.
Holding. Offense number 82. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Yeah, he took one to the rib cage early. Now he's taking one from the officials, and that's former Saint Adam Troutman.
Yeah, talking about Godshaw, it's fun to watch a guy like that because he's not going to show up in the stat books all that much. You're not going to say, boy, he's going to light him up and see the impact that he's having on the game statistically. But the linebackers behind him, I guarantee they appreciate the style play that he brings.
Markov takes it back to the 13. And on the jet sweep, trying to turn the corner, nothing doing for the wide receiver Marvin Mims. Career highs for Mims last year in every receiving category. He's got some jets. Pro Bowler in 2023 and last season.
You still see Demario Davis flying around the field.
Right. And timing is everything. And we always talk about fighters getting ready for a fight, Stinch. To get ready for a football season, you need to take some snaps, don't you?
And you're seeing it right now. The first time we get to see the starters for this defense, and they're not taking it lightly. They came out and played with a lot of juice and flying around this football field.
And Nix with good pocket protection, buying some time. And out of the pocket, throws it away. Granderson chasing him. There is a flag. It's right around the original line of scrimmage. He's saying I had a receiver there.
I think he's wanting a hold call. Demario Davis matched up with R.J. Harvey.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 56. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the previous spot. Automatic, first down.
Yeah, when Nix extends this play, he's looking at his receivers down the field. I think. Yeah, so
number 63 is reported as eligible. 63 eligible.
So you saw the end of that play, right?
Right.
Demario Davis takes a shot. Bo Nix throws the ball in that general vicinity and gets a personal foul, drive extender. Otherwise, shut him down on third down.
Penalties have hurt early. It's Harvey. And did everything he could, but the Saints gathered and rallied. It was gang tackling, taking down the running back. So they cleaned up out of the secondary. Yedem was there, but it was a group effort.
And great first look at this defensive front. Much was made about, you say, 31st in run stop ability last year.
Almost 5 a carry, 141 a game. So that's an area of concentration, obviously, Stinch.
And having Godshaw in the middle is a difference maker, but he can't do it alone. We're also asking Brzee to play a little bit wider.
And the play fake in the right direction. Nix, second level, wide open, and complete. More yardage. It's second. And a big play inside the 30. So a good sell in the backfield by Bo Nix for a gain of 43 yards.
Yeah, working the levels. You see it, play action. Get Nix out in space. Covered up 1, covered up 2. Find Sutton over the top for a big gain.
Career best 81 grabs for Sutton last year. Now going into his 8th year by SMU. That's going to be the end of the first 15 minutes of play, and an entertaining one. Both teams have stalled. 3 field goals so far, and an early 3-point lead for the Saints. With John Stinchcomb, Aaron Summers, Joel Myers, and welcome back to the Big Easy. 6-3 lead. Saints with a couple of field goals, a 49-yarder and a 56-yarder. As now the drive continues on a first down. First snap at the second 15. Bo Nix out of the gun. And a little slam and a completion. It's the young man who made the big play, Sutton. Got a good gain on first down of about 7. Working against McKinstry. And the work of the secondary. against an offense that was 10th in the league in scoring last year, Stinch. They averaged 25 points a game.
I think what has typified it so far in the first quarter was just the energy. They're flying around. You see them coming up, closing off lanes. Even when the Broncos have made their catches, it's in tight windows with very little yak afterwards.
The toss behind the line. And the completion goes to Troy Franklin, his first touch. Second-year man out of Oregon, who was a fourth-round pick by the Broncos last year, wrapped up by Yedem. So we're short of the first down, but just barely, less than a yard. Bring in Evan Ingram, tight end. Let's see if it's a jumbo look as Troutman stays out there. The other tight end. Well, the two wide receivers over to the wide side. Two tight ends bunch on the short side. And throwing for it. Middle of the field. And it's complete. Touchdown. Yes, it is Courtland Sutton. No recognition at all from any of the officials, but it is a score. I know it's the preseason, guys.
Saints bring pressure off the slot. Nick's able to buy some time. It's one-on-one. Courtland Sutton, Julian Blackman right there at the goal line. Blackman sees it, tries to make a play, and Courtland Sutton just uses his big frame to kind of box him out.
Yeah, like a good basketball player on the baseline. He protected it well. So Sutton on the touchdown reception. Let's in for the point after, and the first lead of the day for the Denver Broncos. Just about 90 seconds into the second quarter. But Bo Nix, and that may be it for Bo Nix today. He looks like the confidence after 1 year and a successful season going to the playoffs with Denver carries over even to the preseason his second year. Lutz splits the uprights. And it's a 4-point lead. So Stinch, you said it well. Boxed out on the baseline, got the rebound. It turned out to be a touchdown. Sutton and the Broncos on top by 4. Not that long ago, we were at the facility on Airline, and Mrs. B introduced our new executive vice president for basketball ops, a guy that's in the Basketball Hall of Fame as a player. He's also led a team to a championship as an executive. And that's Joe Dumars, who was with the Detroit Pistons for so long as a player and an executive. And we are very fortunate now to have the Louisiana native with us in New Orleans. We're joined by Joe in just a moment after Will Lutz kicks it away. And it'll be brought back from the goal line. Across the 25, basically the 27. And now we are joined by the executive vice president of the New Orleans Pelicans. And it's good to have a Louisiana native back with us. An exciting time for you coming home.
Yeah, it is. It's been great. I think I've been back to New Orleans about 4 months now. And it's been absolutely great. I've enjoyed every minute of it.
You've been busy.
Yeah, been busy.
Yeah. And you've moved some parts, and you brought in some parts, and we'll talk about Zion, but some of the new guys that I like that you picked up, like Jordan Poole and Sadiq Bey.
Yeah, those guys have been great, and Kevon Looney, the 2 lottery picks, those guys are going to be really good for us.
On first down. Carry over to the left side. Akers gets about 4. So they bring in Edwards-Helaire actually on the carry. And we'll see Akers as well as Edwards-Helaire. But Joe, tell us about the way you construct a roster, because you've already got Zeke, you got Trey Murphy, you got Herb Jones, you have some components, and then Eve is playing real well over in Africa, in Basketball Africa, the tournament.
Yeah, it's really important to have those really talented players that you just mentioned. But for me, just as important is the depth. The NBA is 82 games, tough 82-game season. You're going to have injuries, you're going to have fatigue. And if your team is not deep, if you don't have the depth in your team that can catch up with you. So that's been a big focus of mine since I've been here.
Well, I got a question for you then, because the Saints have decisions that need to be made in advance of Tuesday.
Yes.
And when you talk about depth,
Yep.
You know, the season is long and it's hard and grueling.
Yep.
When you're evaluating young players that may not be there yet, or a veteran that you kind of know where they're at and they have that ceiling, how do you make those choices?
Well, you got to see how they handle situations like this. You know, I mean, you've done it.
Timeout for a virtual measurement.
Good timing.
Good. We'll be able to talk forever.
Yeah.
No, you know how it is, John. I mean, like, you got to see how guys react to live action. You know, it's one thing to be in practice. It's one thing to scrimmage, situationals that you do in practice. But nothing is like when they turn those lights on, turn the popcorn on, and people sit in the stands. That's a different animal, and you want to see how people react to that as much as you want to see anything.
Yeah, you can only simulate so much, right?
Absolutely.
Till you get
Absolutely.
out there.
Absolutely.
Pels Executive Vice President Joe Dumars in the booth with us. And another, I brought up Bay, I brought up Poole. Two guys who could be starting this year for the Pels. They are that talented, especially Jordan Poole. And Bay coming off an ACL, missing last season. But I also want to bring up the fact that mentorship is very important in the NBA.
Absolutely.
And you picked up somebody that I really like a lot, Kevon Looney, a real bright young guy at UCLA who's got rings with the Warriors.
Anybody that's played this game, been around this game for a long time will tell you that what the locker room is like is really important to your team. And if your locker room is not right, really doesn't matter how much talent you have, it's going to catch up with you. And so guys like Kevon Looney, Sadiq Bey, those type of guys coming in, Jordan Poole, I mean, ultimate pros, grab young guys, put them under their wings.
Denver is challenging the ruling on the field that the runner was down short to the line to gain. Timeout.
All right, we're going to take a quick timeout, but we're going to continue our conversation with Pels Vice President Joe Dumars in just a moment.
John said it was going to be.
Our replay is sponsored by Rouse's, official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Challenge is successful by Sean Payton. Does not lose a timeout, and it looks like the Saints might go for it on fourth down, or at least try to draw him offside with a hard count. But Stinch down early.
Yeah, you see where the knee's down, and that's why Coach Payton on the far sideline, despite it being a preseason game, is like, you know what? We're not giving anything away for free. Remeasure, short.
Strange seeing the Broncos have, especially in the dome. It's one thing if he's in the Mile High City, back here.
I know it's his third year starting
right
as the head coach for the Broncos, but it's still odd not to see him in black and gold.
We'll get back to Joe Dumars in our conversation in just a moment after this 4th and inches. Edward Delaire is in the backfield for the LSU Tiger. Slide the tight end. Stole. There will it be. Just a hard count trying to get him offside before the punt. Yes. Timeout Saints.
First, charge timeout New Orleans. This will be a 30-second timeout.
You talk about depth, and we saw it with the Indiana Pacers. We saw it with Oklahoma City, the two teams in the NBA Finals. Now, you've got to go to Australia. You've got 2 games in Australia. Do you bring the guys back and then shut down for a few days? Because, I mean, that's 17, 18 hours on a plane.
Yeah, league rules demand that you give the guys like 2 or 3 days off when you come back from a trip like that. So when we get back from Australia, we will not do anything for the first 2 or 3 days.
So 2 games in Australia, then a game in Birmingham, Gene League affiliate there. A game in Orlando, and on the sneak. Let's see the placement. That'll be interesting too.
It's really close.
Yeah, again, put it right on the marker.
Time for a virtual measurement.
Right, that's what's coming. We know that.
Timeout for a virtual measurement.
Fans are not happy about it either. Yeah, that's what's hard. I know the fans at home can't see this, but if you're in the dome, you don't know what's happening. You're just kind of looking around, waiting for somebody to tell you.
They don't put it on the screen, John?
They will at some
tush push? Come on.
But usually you see the crew running out with the chains. We don't have any of it.
So virtual measurement. And will we get another challenge if the Saints get a first down on it from Sean Payton?
Give us more time with you, Joe.
And Joe, tell us this, the way you try to get ready for a season. Okay, you've got come back now. You've got Birmingham, you've got Orlando, and then you hit the ground running.
Yes.
Because there are a ton of games. You're short in October because there's only a couple of weeks or maybe 10 days in October. You start on the 22nd, but at the same time, then it's a busy, busy November.
Absolutely. It's a busy November. But you got to start ramping up before November gets here.
Right.
You can't wait until November to turn the switch on. You have to slowly start ramping it up almost now, Joel. It's
you got a lot of guys in the gym?
Got a lot of guys in the gym. We got 18, 20 guys in the gym. And so
and the group was just out in Los Angeles as a team, weren't they?
yes. And what happens in the NBA is every team, all 30 teams, the players do a one-week training camp that they organize. And
After review, the runner was short of the line to gain. That will be 4th down. Excuse me, correction. The ball will change over and downs. It will be Denver's ball, 1st down.
well, John, this is longer than the food running.
It is unbelievable. Well, it speeds things up to someone somewhere.
Yeah.
Kellen's got the red flag in his hand. We can make this like a 5-minute process.
Oh, he's going to challenge it now?
It looks like he's considering it. He's got the flag close.
You had mentioned the team out in Southern California.
Yes.
Guys get together, leadership in that group. When I think of Herb Jones, Trey Murphy, and how everybody wants to know how's Z doing.
He's doing great.
Zion.
He was out there going at it every day. It's an intense week. This is not like just a weekend getaway. This is an intense week of drills, practices, scrimmages, lifting. I mean, the guys go at it. It was a great week out there.
Ettinger in the back quarterback. Sam Ettinger out of Texas now in his 5th year. As he's brought down, gain of about a yard. So a good session out in LA for those guys. And as I mentioned, people are wondering about Zion because if he's on the floor for 70 games, the Pels are a different team.
Yeah, he is. He's great. He's in really good shape. It's been good. He's been really good. We've been challenging him. Like, you know, you can't keep doing the same things that you've done in the past and expect something different. And so he stepped up to the challenge so far, and you know we're going to keep pushing him and keep challenging him to be great.
As Blake Watson turning the corner for the Denver Broncos. So when we talk about leadership, it's earned in the NBA.
Yes.
So you see the guys like Trey Murphy, who's fully invested, and Herb Jones, and I like what you do with Herb. You let him know we want you here for the long run.
Absolutely.
Is that the key with a city like New Orleans? We've seen Oklahoma City, smaller markets, guys that absolutely want to be here.
Yeah, you and I had a conversation a few weeks ago about this, Joel. And I've said to guys, like, look, if you don't want to be here, well, man, like, come by the office, man. Let me find a home for you that you really want to be, because there's no sense in me having you here if you don't want to be here. Like, if you don't want to be somewhere, you know, son, you can't be your best.
Right.
No,
You can't.
it actually makes your team worse.
It makes your team
locker
worse.
room.
It sucks out of your locker room and all. And so every guy that's here, Joe, has sat down with me and said, I absolutely want to be here, Joe.
Yeah, and I know you and I have talked about it.
Yep.
So you had that conversation with Zion.
Oh, right away. The first conversation I had. I was like, do you really want to be here or not? Because if you don't, like, let's go ahead and get this done right now.
Let me figure out that.
Yeah, let's do that right now. No, I want to be here. This is home for me. I'm like, okay, we can start from there, and now we can go somewhere.
It's 4th and a yard. And good play by Ettinger. And he may take it the distance. He's pumped out of bounds right around the 10. It should be 1st and goal, and it will be right at the 10-yard line. Sanker saved the touchdown with the angle on the sideline. Jeremiah Fierce. Well, how is Queen doing?
Queen is doing well.
How far away?
They're training him big time role. I mean, like, as I said to him, like, you know, you have a hand situation here, but that doesn't stop your legs.
Right.
So he's running. Because he's older, I want you to be in incredible shape when you come back, because you're going to be behind a little bit. And so you got to be in great shape to catch up. Else you get hurt again. And so he's doing great. Fears is just. It's funny, you know, to play on his name, but he's fearless. Like, this young kid is just like, you know, when you're young like that, you don't think you can get hurt. You don't think anything can happen. And so he is just fearless on the court, and I love it. I love what he brings to us.
He can get into the paint. You got to have a guard in the NBA that can get into the paint.
Absolutely.
He's now going to be back at the 15 after the loss of 6. And we're going to get a flag.
Delay a game. Offense number 4. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
So do you break things down in increments? I always say like every 10 games you get an idea of what's going on, like an eighth of a season.
I really look at the month. I look at each month before the month starts. How many road games we got, how many home games we got, what's the travel like, what's the toughness of the schedule. I just look at each month and just try to focus on that. And don't focus on anything else. Let's just take care of this month right here.
Yeah, because November is very busy, but that NBA clock, well then it's a different story. They got with the wide receiver screen. Saints took care of it very effectively. Michael Bandy on the reception. San Diego. And a good job getting downfield.
Joe, you're pretty good. You're going between NFL and NBA seamlessly.
Well, and I'm watching a lot of tennis. It's U.S. Open time.
And U.S. Open.
And the FedEx today and tomorrow. It's golf season, too.
You're rolling it here.
It is fun. Thank God for it. So now 3rd and goal at about the 16. I can't wait for the Pels this year. I just feel real positive about it. Jordan Poole told me in Las Vegas how happy he is to be here. Back to what you said, nothing doing on the ground. It'll be a 4th and goal coming up. But Jordan Poole told me in Vegas how excited he was to be in New Orleans.
Yes. I think I said this to you before. When you make a trade, the tough call is the guy that you're trading. That's a tough call to make. The most anxious call, though, is the guy you traded for. Because when you get on the phone with him, you want to make sure he wants to be there.
Oh, buddy.
You just traded for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the trade call, I mean, the call when you call the guy and say, hey, look, we've moved you. It's always tough. I always tell people, if it's not tough for you, something's wrong. You should feel something. But, man, when you pick up the phone and call the other guy and he knows you've traded for him, you want to hear him excited. And I told Joel that Poole was super excited.
It's a 29-yard attempt and 3 more points for the Denver Broncos. Joe, thank you.
Thank you, guys. This is great.
I'm happy.
Thanks, John.
I'm happy you're here.
Sure.
That's Joe Dumars, Executive Vice President of the Pels. Saints preseason football brought to you by the Gulf Coast Sports and Entertainment Network. Grab an antenna, get connected, ready to watch the Pels this season. And by Rouse's, get community coffee, the Saints official coffee, family owned for over 105 years. At Rouse's, the official supermarket of the Saints. Welcome back once again, and I can do one of those bags of 3 and a chicken. I walk about 10 minutes, Stitch. It's a 10-minute walk from my door in the warehouse district, and it's not healthy for me, but I'm going to do mine too.
I had no problem staying over 300 pounds while I was here.
It's going to be brought back. Up the middle past the 25 to the 30. Yeah. On the return for the Saints, Jaden Price. Well, early entry. It's going to be Tyler Shutt taking over now with 6.5 to play in a 7-point game. So we didn't know, and we ask, and we always talk to Kellen Moore. He likes to get a guy 3 or 4 series. And it was 3 series for Spencer Rattler. And we documented how close the numbers were coming in, which tells you he also wants to get some time for Jay Kaner, the 3rd quarterback. Shuck out in the flat. And the dump off at the tight end. It is Stoll and a good gain on 1st down across the 40 out to about the 42-yard line.
I think it's kind of odd for all 3 quarterbacks. Bo Nix for the Broncos, as well as Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shuck. First play is a simple little play-action rollout, dump off to the tight end, let them loosen up their wheels, make an easy throw, get them rolling.
Devin Neal is the single in the backfield. Rookie out of Kansas. And a little counter action. Good shift by Neal and a good gain on 1st down of 5 yards. Brought down by Bailey out of Fresno State in his second season. Inside linebacker for the Broncos. So Devin Neal, the 6th round draft pick of the Saints.
Had limited reps because of injury,
Right.
so I'm sure they're trying to evaluate. That's a difficult decision in that room behind Kamara and Kendre Miller as to who you're going to keep, and being able to evaluate Neal on a very short time window because of injury. I'm sure they do want to get him some reps.
Yeah, he's had better than 1,200 yards each of his last 2 seasons at Kansas, and 17 touchdowns the last 2 years, each of the last 2 years. Run pass option and a first down for Shuck. Good decision. He got on the edge, showed some decent wheels. So he used the play fake, read the situation, and got 9 on the carry.
Shuck's reading that backside end. Does he hand it off? Does he pull it? See the athleticism on display there. Get to the edge.
Back-to-back first down started at the Saints 25, now at the 44 of the Broncos. Neal in the flat. That's his target. He made the first man miss. No. And a good open field tackle. And that was Bailey again, the backer out of Fresno State. Let's head over to Aaron Summers. Aaron.
And Devin Neal was a record-setting career rusher at Kansas, and he was the all-time rushing leader with 4,343 yards. Extremely productive on the ground. But this training camp, he's missed some time with a hamstring injury in college. He only missed 1 game, so he said it was really hard for him to sit out and not be able to play here. It was unfamiliar territory for him, so today he really wants to show what he can do on the ground and through the air.
Yeah, he didn't run himself out of the play. He kind of waited to see what would develop. And he's brought down by Reed, but a good gain. But unfortunately, an offensive lineman is down for the Saints.
I believe that's Landon Young. Missed the first preseason game. Going back, speaking on Neal. Looking forward to more reps.
Yeah, and Neal making the most of it, at least early here, as we're in the first half in the Big East. Unfortunately, Landon Young needed the cart to get over to the locker room while we were away. And he's your backup left tackle behind rookie Kelvin Banks, who was the 9th overall pick in the draft. And he has looked like the 9th overall pick. He's looked that good. But your depth is so important. And then friendly fire, his own running back, up the back of his legs.
You hope for the best there.
So now for the Saints, 3rd and 3, trying to convert on the first 3rd down. Crossing pattern, they'll get it. Grab made by Mason Tipton. He continues to show up. Little shallow cross.
You saw earlier this preseason they lost Will Clapp, probably their number 6 interior offensive lineman, and now you hope for the best for Landon Young, because heading into his 5th season, he's expected to be that swing tackle. Got the start today with Fuaga not playing, so hoping for him and the Saints offensive line that he's healthy.
On the high snap, Shuck buying some time. And down the sideline, just over the fingertips of his tight end, Trayton Welch. 6'4" target.
Trayton Welch was the tight end who came up with the amazing catch in week 2. Shuck tries just out of the outstretched arm for Welch there, but Shuck extended the play, Kept his eyes downfield, wasn't able to connect there.
If you just joined us, this is Chuck's first series of the contest. Rattler took the first 3. His drive started back at the 25. It's 2nd and 10 at the 33. Quick and tried to go to Wilson, but it was dropped. So a little kick out play for the wide receiver.
It's actually going to Kevin Austin right here. Might get his eyes upfield just a little early.
Austin out of Notre Dame, now in his 2nd season. So the Saints just converted on their first 3rd down of the game. And they do it again on 3rd and 10. 3 over to the wide side of the field. It's Wilson this time, and not enough. Inside the 30. Well played by the Denver defense.
The Saints try to set up a little tunnel screen, get their offensive linemen out into space, get behind the first layer, first defensive line, and wasn't able to create any lanes there. Ends up in a 4th down.
They'll put it down, looks like at the 38. It'll be a 48-yard try. Groupie 2 for 2 in the contest. But first, the 2-minute warning before the placement, and a field goal attempt for the Saints when we come back. So Denver with the only touchdown of the game, and that is the difference. They're on top by 7 with 2 minutes to play in the half. Welcome back once again. 2 minutes to play in the half, and so far that is the best shot of the day. That's great. In their jerseys.
Having the time of their lives.
Well appointed, even though it's the preseason. Now it's going to be a 48-yard attempt out of the timeout by Blake Groupie. He's already 2 for 2. So Will Lutz, the former Saint, he has done well for the Broncos. Groupie picking up right where he left off. 48-yarder. And again, like a machine.
Automatic.
It really is. Now our hardest worker over the first 30 minutes of play. It's all sponsored by Home Builders SIF. Workers' comp for hard workers. Ugo's been all over the place.
You see him closing down lanes, pressuring the quarterback. This was early on, breaks up a pass to Cortland Sutton. He's popped all preseason to me.
Yeah, he's been ready, hasn't he? Some guys come prepared. New place kicker on the field for the Saints, and he's done well. Charlie Smith. So he'll place it at the 35. It'll be Jackson over the far side, body over to the near side. The Groupie 48-yarder. It's good for 48, 49, and 56. Accounting for all the points for the Saints. And that also was the first series for Tyler Shupp. Now the low liner is going to be picked up by Jackson. And bumped down and make a body. Bumped down. And good coverage again by the Saints. They'll put him down right at about the 30-yard line. Now, what about the health during the regular season? Going in, at least, Aaron Summers with more.
Yeah, Joel, it's been a relatively healthy camp for the Saints, although they have missed a few offensive linemen early here. We've seen Talia Seifuaga out today, and then Landon Young leaving with the injury earlier. Nick Saldiveri and Will Clapp are both out for the season as well on that O-line. Bub Means out with an ankle injury he suffered in the Chargers game.
Nice throw by Anger. And a cushion on the outside as it's taken in by Jerwan Newton. Rookie out of Toledo. Undrafted rookie. 10 of 13 in the first down, so these are good reps for this young man who's trying to make it as a backup quarterback with the Broncos. Do they keep 2? Do they keep 3? Pressure. We've done that. And yards after contact. Blake Watson in the reception, running back out of Memphis. 5 on the carry and the reception. Guy who can manage the clock a little bit. We've seen that before. Your old coach, John Stinchcomb. Is there a better sideline manager when it comes to the clock, and especially the end of games or halves?
He's been in it a time or two. Obviously a huge part of the game at inner 4, 2 minutes before the half, after the half, set the tone.
Canada was really underneath for Newton again. They continue to move the sticks, starting back at their own 30. And a first down in Saints territory at the 45. Out of bounds, stops the clock. Broncos, like the Saints, still have timeouts. Saints with 2, the Broncos with 3. Second series for Ellinger, the former Texas Longhorn. Tight formation. 4-man rush. And that time, there won't be yards after contact from Blake Watson. Sanker. And Sanker's had a really good preseason.
How about his closing speed? He's right here at the edge of your screen, but once he recognizes there is not any opportunity for extra yards there, Sanker is a closer.
Ellinger and tried to throw through a tight window and was battered away. And a good job by the Saints. Right. Got a piece of it.
Yeah, trying to find that little hole in the space between a sitting corner, and Wright's able to cover some ground to get back into the play, break up that pass.
Big third down all the way around. 3rd and 9, because the Saints do have timeouts left if they can stop the drive. Watson is single in the backfield for Denver. Blitz comes, and it gets away. Good job by a big quarterback and a first down. Goes to the tight-end safety valve, Lucas Kroll. Played a game for the Saints, remember, back in 2022. Had a gain of 11, but the blitz, that's the key.
Nothing there early. Amadi zeroed in on the quarterback, not able to bring him down, and because of that, Ellinger is able to break contain, find a wide open tight end for a first down, but untouched for Amadi. Just kind of overran that sack.
From the Saints 33. Use the sideline again. Michael Bandy on the reception. Guy that spent last year on their practice squad. So the drive is still alive. It started back at the 30. And what's effective, they haven't used their timeout. They've used the boundaries effectively. So good reps now. Here's Sam Ellinger. Plenty of time, middle of the field, and complete inside the 5. It's Crow. Tight end out of Pitt.
He's matched up right there with Jordan Howden. Ellinger is able to put the ball right over the top of his helmet. Cole comes down with a reception.
Gain of 27 on the catch. And did the left guard come up early? Well, it cost them 5. Only 33 seconds left in the half.
Full start. Offense number 79. By rule, inside of 2 minutes while the clock is running, that penalty is subject to a 10-second runoff. Denver has elected to choose a timeout in lieu of the 10-second runoff.
Yeah, it pays to have 3 on the board, doesn't it? So you're talking about over the top. This is a perfect throw, wasn't it, by Ellinger?
There's not a lot of space here. Right edge of your screen. Ellinger progresses. Howden's in position. Looks right over the top of his helmet. It's more like Kroll just ends up with the ball in his chest.
It's back at the 9, where It's first and goal. Pocket protection there. And got it away. Amani on the coverage up against Pat Bryant, the wideout on that side. The rookie out of Illinois, their 3rd round pick this year.
Yep, similar situation, trying to drop it in over the defender's helmet. His back turned. See, Amani's able to break it up.
He got him in the helmet, didn't he? Bounced right off the helmet.
Domed.
27 seconds left in the half on a 2nd and goal from the 9. Waited for the running back Watson, and he was drilled. So good play coming out of the secondary. Yeah. Will there be a timeout? You would have to think
Second charge timeout, Denver. This will be a 30-second timeout.
It looked like Stallbird was the first one there.
Yep, you saw the close right there from Stallbird inside out. Ellinger, little check down, hoping for some yak, and Stallbird's another guy who's popped each week in this preseason. Hustler, sideline to sideline, somebody that when you talk to the players during the week in advance of these games, he's a name that they always mention.
Yeah, coming up next, the Marsh McLennan Agency halftime show. Ron Kincaid with Von Bushrock will take over. On 3rd and goal, it's at the 7. Pressure right up the gut and to throw it away.
How about that hit?
Yeah.
Vernon Broughton almost untouched right to the chest of Ellinger. Kind of in the middle of your screen right here. Slips the right guard. Does a good job of not landing on him.
Right. Saints 3rd round pick. Feel that one tomorrow. Maybe even on the charter on the way back tonight. Lutz in for the 25-yard attempt. Trying to put it back up by 7. Placement, clean exchange, and it is a 7-point game. So the former Saint Will Lutz is now got 3 field goals on the day. Chip shots by his standards. A 32-yarder, 29-yarder, and that one a 25-yarder. Well, don't forget about the 13th annual Saints kickoff run. It's all presented by Hancock Whitney. Join us Saturday, September 6th. Saints fans, you can race right through the city, all the way to the 50-yard line. That's the finish here at the Caesars Superdome. Proceeds are going to benefit the Louisiana National Guard Foundation. Mission to support its members, its vets, and families. For all the details, and also to register, go to saints5k.com. That's saints5k.com. Saints have had to settle for 3. Groupie 3 for 3. Lutz 3 for 3. The difference in the game, the 19-yard touchdown pass. And that was while Bo Nix was in the game.
A couple difference makers in this first half was those 4th down conversions.
Right.
Some drives extended for the Broncos and a drive ended for the Saints in their own territory.
Yeah, and the Saints have really failed regularly on 3rd down here in the first half. Not only the 4th down try, as Robert Daniels is going to be back deep for the Saints, along with Dante Pettis. And Pettis will let it go on the touchback. So you're down to 13 seconds. Marsh McLennan Agency halftime show. Your old teammates in there with Juan Kincaid. And they'll break down the quarterback competition. First 3 series belong to Spencer Rattler. The last one, reducing the 48-yard field by Groupie. That was Tyler Shuck. 56-yarder by Groupie. That was Spencer Rattler, as well as the 49-yarder by Groupie on the first 2 series of the contest for the Saints. The failure to keep the drives alive, and that has been the problem. Last year, Saints' 3rd down efficiency, they were 28th, 5th from the bottom. Run it. It's going to be Velus Jones Jr. And that will most likely, and it will be, final snap of the first 30 minutes of play. So Sean Payton, the Broncos go to the locker room up by 7 at the break. And hopefully everybody's okay, as you saw. Lemieux kind of gimpy. Offensive lineman walking off the field for the Saints. It's our Louisiana Dental Center sideline report, your dental home team with Aaron Summers.
Coach, we haven't seen the defensive starters yet in preseason. What did you see from them in their time here?
Yeah, I love the energy. I love the juice that they brought to our team, and so they made some big-time stops in there. Obviously, the story of this game is 3rd down and 4th down. Just critical downs. We got play cleaner right there.
Offensively, what do you have to do to extend those drives?
Yeah, just the play extension. 3rd downs, as you're moving the drive, we got to keep it alive and put ourselves in position to go score touchdowns.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Kellen and Aaron. We'll head to Juan Kincaid, Jermon Bushrod at the half. Once again to the Caesars Superdome as we get ready for the start of the second half. 7-point lead for the Denver Broncos, along with Aaron Summers, John Stinchcomb, Joel Myers, and we remind you the Saints third quarter sponsored by Verizon, the official 5G network of the New Orleans Saints. Broncos will kick it away back deep. It's going to be Pettis going over to the far side. Dante Pettis for the Saints. And over to the near side, it'll be Roderick Daniels. Well, let's tease it up. The last 30 minutes of the preseason, and Stinch, let's get out of here healthy. That's the key, because you got some ones out there early and they look pretty good. And it's going to be brought back by Pettis across the 20 and ripped down shy of the 25 at the 24. So we saw Spencer Rattler had the first 3 series. Well, the last one was Tyler Shuck, and Shuck is going to start the second half. So efficient. Both guys, and we showed the numbers to start preseason game number 3, and the numbers were almost identical. And the quarterback ratings were close, very close. It's that close, the competition between the two to see who's going to be the starter for week 1. Now Shuck after the play fake. And it's punched away. A little turn-in route for Kevin Austin Jr.
For anyone who's seen these preseason games, you understand why the Saints remain the only team that hasn't named their starter for week 1. That the competition between Shuck and Rattler has been really close. And I think in a good way. Neither player has played poorly. Now, obviously, their stats don't jump off the page, but I think that's given the opportunities that we've seen. Both have managed well.
Slide the tight end over to the left side. Trayton Welch. Pocket holds up. Man available. It's Welch. He's got a first down to the 45-yard line. What I like is what Kellen Moore said about it. He said the quarterback room is really healthy. The atmosphere, they're all competitors. They want the gig. They want the job. But they are really good together.
Yeah, great throw right here by Shuck. You see on full display, Welch able to bring it down inbounds. Obviously inbounds. And I think that's important. Even if you were to name a week 1 starter, both these guys are young. They're still learning this system. It is part of development.
That's Devin Nealon. They stand him up after a gain of 3. And he had a couple of nice runs. And one you said, and I like the word you used, was he showed patience coming out of the backfield when he picked up 7 on that one carry. Yeah,
so into the second quarter, it's that one cut. Now, I think we're still trying to evaluate Neal. Aaron Summers, sideline report, let us know how effective and efficient he was in college. And because of injury, he's been limited. We haven't seen a lot of him. And this is going to be an important game. There's some tough decisions to make, especially about that running back room.
Now he's trying to pick up the blitz. That's that shot going deep on the sideline. And it's popped away. It was tipped in. And a well-timed play by the defensive back, Abrams Drain.
It looked like it bounced right off the back of the helmet there. Similar scenario to what we've seen the Broncos were able to execute. Tipton, a little double move. Gets over top. Looks like the ball bounces right off. Oh, no. Maybe he was able to get his arm in there and break the pass away.
Brings up a third down. Saints just 1 for 5 on their third downs thus far. And that's what Kellen Moore brought up to Aaron going to the locker room. Can they sustain drives out of the reach of the wide receiver Kevin Austin Jr.? So 1 first down on the good throw to the tight end Welsh, but can't keep the drive alive.
Third down conversions have been a problem all game, and there was opportunity there. Shuck and Austin weren't able to get on the same page.
Now we don't know who the punter is going to be, whether it's Burnham or Kai Kroger. This is going to be the first punt of the contest for the Saints. So when you're trying to evaluate guys, it's tough when they're not out on the field. Usually that's a good thing. Get off the punt and scoring. Tony Jackson waits back deep. High wobbler, good hang time. And going to be taken in at the 14. So job well done that time by Kroger. 38 yards and no return. Saints preseason football presented by the Gulf Coast Sports and Entertainment Network, official broadcast partner of the New Orleans Pelicans. By Louisiana Dental Center, your dental home team. And by Rouse's. Get community coffee, the Saints official coffee, family owned for over 105 years at Rouse's, official supermarket of the Saints. Another balmy, cool afternoon, but we're covered. We're inside at the Caesars Superdome. Good atmosphere. Good shots. And the first possession of the second half for the Denver Broncos. Estime in the backfield along with Adam Prentice in and out. Ellinger once again at quarterback. And the running back sliding off the left side was Estime. Second-year man out of Notre Dame, the 5th-round pick last year, is brought down. So out on the edge was Christian Boyd making the stop. Broughton also over there. So let's see. It seems like Ellinger is going to play the remainder of the contest. Bo Nix started, and they have succeeded on their last 4 series with a touchdown and 3 consecutive field goals. And Estime didn't quit on the play, and he got a first down. And that was extra effort yards after contact.
It was, because Fadil Diggs had set the edge, turned the play back inside. He's at the edge of your screen here. He's able to get upfield, turns the play back, but Estime finds a lane, able to make a couple guys miss on his way to a first down.
He stays in the backfield, the 5th-round pick last year. And try the left side this time, and good yardage on first down. Close to a first down. Not exactly a gadget play. Hit it well, though. The belly of the running back. Howden making the stop at the secondary, but a gain of 9.
They set up quite a lane. They were able to get their tackle out in space. Estime, I felt like, kind of hesitated, didn't need to, because the Broncos had created an outside lane between defensive back and the safety just by bringing the left guard out into space.
80 yard, less than a yard for first down. Body in the backfield. Man, they get the first down with the carry straight up the gut. So it's Prentice, the fullback. They got 2 listed at fullback. You rarely see fullbacks even listed anymore.
And Prentice is one of the players that Saints fans probably recognize that name, having won black and gold for a number of years.
Right. Got into 17 games last year. So first down at the 37. And Estime again with a good run. Really good run. Picked his way, or Bade rather, picked his way through for almost 9 more. If you can't run, you can't survive. And that's what the Saints are trying to establish a little bit, as we've seen in the preseason. But they're trying to also find out about their quarterback, so it's kind of a tough situation.
And evaluating this defensive front. So Boyd and Broughton, two younger players for the Saints, in the middle right now, hoping to be that next man up after Godshaw and Brzee.
Body stays in there, gets the first down on 2nd and a yard. Clock continues to roll, 5 minutes in to the start of the second half. They were in the middle of the pack offensively last year, the Denver Broncos. 112 yards a game on the ground was 16th best. But as I mentioned, they went for the first time to the playoffs. They surprised everybody. But going to Buffalo in the dead of winter for a playoff game in January, that's tough for anybody. And they lost 31-7. The key was they were in the upper third when it came to scoring, averaging 25 points a game. Now in the delay, not a lot, but hey, drive still alive. They're getting a pretty good push underneath, aren't they?
Yeah, just pretty simple power play to the right side. And we're in the point of training camp and preseason where Sean Payton is going to make a defense say, can you stop this? We're going to run it as much as we can. And right now, they're getting good yardage against this defensive front of the New Orleans Saints.
A couple of subs up front for the Saints in this 3-4 alignment. It'll be 2nd and 7. Gallagher throwing for one of the few times and out in the flat, wide open. So it's Body, the former Missouri Tiger, with another first down. But good pocket protection as Foskey forces him out of bounds. But you can see the options presented for the quarterback because the pocket did hold up.
It held up. They were looking for a deeper shot. The secondary for the Saints had it all covered up deep and hits his check down, and the check down ends up being a 10-yarder.
Offensive line is back intact for Denver. So they can build on what they did with a 10-win season last year. Ellinger on the out. And in and out of the hands of the intended target. It's Pat Bryant.
Yeah, Rajon Wright again with the close, able to get into that play. Good break on the ball. We'll give him credit. Give him credit on the help to disrupt.
Yes.
2 thumbs down.
Let's go to the movies. Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Cisco and Ebert said no catch.
8 to play in the third. Drive started back at the Broncos 14. Now the Saints 40 in the flat. Needed the kick-out block, but still yards after contact. They're short of the first down by a good margin. As Body took it in.
All right, another third down for the Saints defense. It's been a tough road to hoe for the offense, but here's an opportunity for the defense to get off the field.
That was tough last year, as you know. Once allowed third down conversions by the opposition. And over the middle. It's a first down to Crow. But once again, give the offensive line credit. Going through his progressions.
So if you're going to bring pressure, the challenge is to hold up if the play gets extended. And that's what they're able to do. You pick up the blitz, he works himself up in the pocket, and over time, there just creates little creases. Ellinger able to find one there.
Ellinger, the wide receiver. A little screen trying to get a kick out. Newton on the reception. And no gain on that reception. But a long drive just the same. As I mentioned, their last 4 drives produced points in the first half, 3 field goals and a touchdown. And they have been able to convert on their third downs. That's the difference. They're almost 50% on their third downs. Call it 2nd and 10. Blitz is coming. They pick it up. The running back does a good job. And they're going to throw it away. Tough duty for the little guy. Friday goes, they list him at 5'8". Does that mean he's 5'6", 5'7"?
It's pretty close. He certainly plays bigger, able to pick up Nephi Sewell on the blitz.
And he's going, I mean, he came in 100 miles an hour, didn't he? 14th play of the drive coming up. Third and 10. It's Quincy Riley. So, creating a turnover for the first time today. They needed it after a long time-consuming drive by the Broncos. Saints get it right back. Welcome back once again. A big pick. Quincy Riley on the deflection gets it. The Saints fourth round draft choice. Point is, it's marked off 15 yards against the Saints afterwards because players out of uniform coming onto the field to celebrate.
Big play by Quincy Riley, though. Ball pops up in the middle of traffic. He's able to come away with it. Much needed turnover for this Saints defense. You see the celebration. You're excited for your teammates, but having some awareness. It's a regular shot. He's busy on the sideline.
So instead of the 34, the Saints go back to the 19. That's a big difference field position wise to start a drive. Chuck in at quarterback. This is his third full series. Empty backfield. Spread the defense. And go underneath to the tight end. So it's complete to Mo. Out of UCLA, their big tight end, and he is large at 6'8", 265. Good hands.
Big target, big recognition by Shuck. Seeing the pressure coming from his right side. Gentle rollout to his left. Trying to stay in front of the sticks this series.
He caught 41 for the Bruins last year. Better than 500 yards. Now Shuck on second down, middle of the field, and same target, in and out of his hands.
You mentioned it, big target, 6'8". That's he's right at the edge right here. Just quick seam over the top. Tries to bring it in, unable to do so.
Had a good throw. And he had to go back that way because otherwise leads and the backers in it.
You're trying to lead him a little bit away from that safety in the middle of the field so you don't hang him out to dry.
3rd and 6. Deep in their own territory. Pressure coming on Shuck. Ball's out. And it looks like Denver might have come up with it. Yep, they did. So a takeaway by the Broncos. Jackson on the force. It looked like Jordan Jackson would read on the recovery.
And rolling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. First down, Denver.
Yeah, it was Robinson actually who poked it away.
It does appear like Robinson's able to get his hands on the ball before Shuck starts his forward motion. Quick rep, speed rush across the hedge. Mendoza's not able to catch up. Not much Shuck could do there, recognizing the speed at which he was already under pressure by Robinson.
He's quick. Out of Alabama, 4th round pick for Denver. So they take over after the Saints took it away. Now the Broncos get it right back. Starting in Saints territory, a drive for the first time today at the Saints 19. Ellinger on his way down, but still got close to the line of scrimmage. It'll be a sack.
Jonah Williams is the one who finally gets to him, but Ellinger is able to carry him almost right back up to the line of scrimmage. Good pressure up the middle by Broad.
It is the backer. 3rd and long. Back-to-back turnovers. First the pick for the Saints, then the takeaway. Shuck had the ball straight to him. And the Saints hang on and hold him to a field goal try.
Down by 7. Don't want to give up another touchdown here. Big 3rd down. Got to blow your back a little bit. Had a short field because of your own turnover. Have to get off the field with this 3rd down.
And it looks like a timeout coming up for Ellington. And the Broncos. And that'll be the case. They'll stop the clock and set things up for 3rd and long with 3:48 to play
Denver,
in the 3rd.
their first of the half.
So first time out of the 2nd half for either side. And the Broncos in the driver's seat. Can they capitalize? Our replay sponsored by Rouse's, official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. And welcome back to the Caesars Superdome. Along with Aaron Summers, John Stone, Joel Myers, all the kids. Makes it great. An early start on a Saturday. User-friendly for families. Let's see what happens now on 3rd down and 10 in a 7-point game. Back-to-back turnovers, one by each side. Field position-wise, though, it pays off for the Broncos to get a right back. Nice to make in the backfield. Moving in the flat. Ellington, middle of the field, and he's got a 1st and goal. Bryant's on the receiving end, but extending the pocket and climbing the pocket. Good play by the quarterback, Ellington.
It starts with he had time. He had time in the pocket, but like you say, little bit of movement there, extends the play, finds the receiver down the field on a 5-yard line. Big, another 3rd down conversion for the Broncos.
1st and goal, Denver. At the Saints 5. So 1 touchdown and 4 red zone possessions. On the delay, Estime is in with a touchdown for Denver. He weaved his way through traffic and basically untouched on his way to the end zone.
And walked the tightrope right through the middle of the Saints defense into the end zone.
So they take advantage. Points off the turnover and the takeaway. Starting with the ball in the 19. So Sean Payton with a win in the regular season against his old ball club. Now up by 13. And it's preseason, so they're going to go for 2. Took away the first wide receiver. Ellington with a nice pivot and spin. Back to the end zone. Behind his intended target, a little bit shy of Pat Bryant. Good footwork, though, by the quarterback to escape.
Again, extending the play, created the opportunity, but the big play was this touchdown by Estime.
City. Saints looking for the first win of the preseason. Got a loss and a tie last week, and now down 13 to a team that went to the playoffs last year. So they saw the Chargers in the first week. Chargers went to the playoffs, had a very successful season, and they have a serious quarterback. But then it looks like Bo Nix is going to be very good as well for Denver. It'll be brought back from the foul. And going down for the Saints at, well, just shy. It's Michael, or check that is Roderick Daniels bringing it back. Now, so far coming in this preseason, both have a fumble loss now. Pretty close. Rushing yards belong to Rattler. The escapability. He's 6'1", 6'2", Shuck at about 6'5", and has not moved out of the pocket all that much. Hasn't had to. On the quick out, it's complete, and it's a 1st down.
Look looking at the comparisons, it's really hard. I think that's why you still have the battle ongoing. Right here, just a timing route. Shuck puts it where he needs to, gets it to Austin Jr. right at the sticks. But as you're evaluating these quarterbacks, you understand. You understand why it's still part of the progression, and it's going to be ongoing. Even if they were to name a Week 1 starter, I think it's evident, and every time you talk to Coach Moore, it's going to be throughout the season, we're going to continue to develop both players.
Not much for the running back. Over to the left side that time. So short game, and we still have not seen the ground game that they need going into Week 1. It was Akers. Akers stays with the backfield, and he'll get a second consecutive touch. Makes a miss, and close to the first down, but shy by a couple of yards. It'll be 3rd and 3. So starting quarterbacks over the last 7 seasons.
Yeah,
Derek Carr was the only one in 23, but it was different last year.
Absolutely, and that's the rarity where the Saints, it's not been since the Drew Brees era where the quarterback starts the season and it's the same one to finish the year.
3rd down. Here comes pressure up the middle. Good throw and a good catch. It's a 1st down on the reception. So Big Mo, the rookie out of UCLA, hangs on.
And Shuck in the pocket feels the pressure, has to change his throwing angle to find his target. But you see defender right in his face, kind of a sidearm action to get the ball out.
Yeah, good call. Drop down to almost like 3/4 to get it out. Pocket collapsing and right high. It's Austin Jr. on the receiving end. The ball was in the air as he turned around. He was already there.
Yeah, so that's why they've made the call difficult, because I think both these quarterbacks have shown what they're capable of throughout all of this preseason.
And arm strength isn't a question because they both can get the ball downfield. Now here comes the blitz, and Shuck getting it out of the pocket. They'll talk about it.
There was no receiver anywhere close.
There is no foul for intentional grounding. The quarterback was outside the pocket when the pass was released.
A break. Barely outside of the tackle box.
Well, Denver brings pressure. They don't have anyone to account for it. So you're looking at the matchup. It's going to come from this side of your screen. See 47 right there, and no one's there to pick it up. Shuck's just trying to get outside of the box to get the ball out.
Drive started back inside the 25 of the Saints, now at the 35 of Denver. On 2nd down. Good run again. Neal has made the most of his opportunities. The Saints' 6th round pick out of Kansas. We mentioned his patience in the first half. He gets about 5 on that carry. And that's going to be the final snap of the 3rd quarter. So the scoring in the quarter belonged to the Denver Broncos. Now playing catch up in the 2nd consecutive week. And the Saints get it done. Saints 4th quarter sponsored by Dudley DeBosier, official injury lawyers of the New Orleans Saints. Drive started back at the 23. Tyler Shuck, after the ball was scraped away with pressure in the backfield. He is perfect so far on this series, 4 of 4. And that's the way it started for Austin Jr. on the out.
Cam Akers check down. Big Mo across the field. Back shoulder to Austin Jr.
But 3rd downs have killed them. Saints are just 2 of 8 on their 3rd down so far. And they're facing a 3rd and 5 in Denver territory. Extra. The pocket collapse. The dump off. And a good move by Devin Neal for a 1st down. Sometimes that's your best option when you see early heat.
Well, we saw Ellinger last series for the Broncos extend plays in an extended series. Now it's Shuck's turn. How about that footwork, and then talk about changing the arm angle. Just being able to get the ball out the way he did shows his athleticism. ball on there.
Yep. Now, both guys can throw.
Without question. I mean, that certainly hasn't been a critique of Rattler. Of he doesn't have the arm strength. Both can sling it.
It'll be second in the yard. Trying to play a little tempo here as they got up to the line in a hurry. Now does it cost them? Shot for the adjustment. Underneath and dropped. In and out of the hands of Cedric Wilson Jr.
Chuck put the ball exactly where he needed to. Cedric Wilson right there, edge of your screen. Pressure comes off him. He's the hot route. Ball is right where Chuck wants it. Isn't able to bring it in.
Yeah, they've converted on their last 2 third downs, at least in this drive. Need a yard. Neal stays in the backfield. And now confusion as he sets up over to the right side. Neal. And he's got the first down. Should be about a first and goal situation. They push him back, but I think they'll put it down on the 10. They're starting back at the 23. And here's the tempo. And that's what Kellen Moore wants. He wants to play fast.
You're able to put so much more pressure on a defense when you can just vary your speed.
It'll be a play foul. And to the corner, touchdown shot.
Tyler Shock proving that he's got a couple tricks in his bag as well. Calls his own number, pulls the ball, finds the corner of the end zone.
Run pass option.
And he liked his option.
Charlie Smith in for the point after. So Shock just engineered the longest drive of the day for the Saints. A productive one. Down by 7. Will it be 6? Yes. So a good way to start the third for Shock and the Saints. 6-point ball game after the 10-yard touchdown run. Our replays all sponsored by Rouse's, official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Now the longest drive for the Saints finishes it off with a run, and that's Tyler Shock. 12 plays, 77 yards, took about 5 minutes off the clock. And the key was they converted on third downs when they had to.
It's huge. There were drive killers early on in this game, and you see the difference that it makes when you're able to extend a series. Tyler Shock was pointing at the Saints fans at homes, let them know who's coming.
Charlie Smith will kick it away. Back deep, Blake Watson. Along with Cookie Jackson. And it's going to be Jackson from the goal line. Trying to turn the corner and is bouncing inside the 25. And on the coverage for the Saints, Diggs gets there in a hurry.
Makes it pay for this cutback. Bomb.
And when you're trying to make the 53-man roster, that's the way to do it.
That is a great way to do it. We were talking to JT Gray earlier in this week, and the pride that he takes in special teams is reflected in a number of these younger players as well.
With body in the backfield, ton of time. And completions are short. Here goes to Pat Bryant. The coverage for the Saints. Right, the defensive back. He's been active today.
Yeah, how about Rajon? He wants his name called. He understands the importance of this opportunity for all these players out there. Putting his hat on the ball, flying around. Talked about him earlier with a pass disruption.
It's a gain of 4, call it 7 and 6. Goes out of bounds at about the 30. Let's see where they finally put it. Our hardest workers, sponsored by Home Builders SIF, Workers Comp for hard workers. Rajon Wright.
And he's earned it. Fighting through the traffic, big offensive lineman in the space, closing. His pass breakup, gets his hand up and extended. Again, another pass breakup. And then this pass series where we just saw, closes, nice tackle. Certainly a hard worker this second half.
And then body into the backfield. Foul in trouble on the third downs. Ellinger will be able to run for it. Miller wide open on the wing. And it's taken in by Caleb Lohner. Unaccounted for, the rookie 7th-round pick out of Utah at a gain of 23. So a breakdown for the Saints. They didn't identify.
Yeah, you bring pressure. You feel like you should get home, and lost in all of the action. It seems like Jalen Ford possibly got a little lost once the play was broken. Ends up leaving a wide open receiver for the Broncos.
They're all the way down to the 46 of the Saints. Watson stumbling after the handoff. And loses about a yard. Clock continues to roll, about 4 minutes gone. We had a phenomenal finish last Saturday right here at the Caesars Superdome. Is it going to be that kind of finish today? But it's interesting the way things have changed with place kickers in the NFL. Once they get around the 40, it's their territory.
The efficiency in which they operate these days, it is amazing.
Yeah, because 55 to 60 is not out of the realm and out of the distance of most kickers anymore. And it's going to bring up a third and about 5-6 yards.
Ellinger might want to opt for a slide next go around.
It was an awkward one. He thought about it. Beebe in on the hit.
That Broughton brings pressure right up the middle, forcing Ellinger to escape with his feet. Took somewhat of a nasty hit there at the end.
They need to take it inside the Saints 36. Just converted on a third down. Bunch on the short side of the field for Ellinger. Out of time and out of the reach. He went with A.T. Perry.
Another familiar name to the New Orleans Saints.
Well, do they go for it? It's the preseason. We've already seen them go for it on 4th down today.
The offense is staying on the field.
So some heat on the Saints D now to get it right back. And if they can, exceptional field position for the offense.
I'm smiling and laughing up here, Joel, because this is a preseason game. We've seen a number of 4th down attempts and a 2-point conversion from Sean Payton and these Broncos.
Well, they're converted on their first 2 tries. Heat off the edge, and he goes down. So Ellinger tried to hang in there, but they got to him early. Davis, it seemed like it was the first. There was a number. Good pressure up front.
Staley had an answer this time around in that defense. Davis brings the heat, comes home on the 4th down. Big hit. Turnover on downs. How about that for your going for it on 4th?
Football is all presented by the Gulf Coast Sports and Entertainment Network. Grab an antenna, get connected, be ready for the Pels, the New Orleans Pelicans this season. And by Rouse's, get community coffee, the Saints official coffee. Family owned for over 105 years. At Rouse's, the official supermarket of the Saints. Now, 9:36 to play. Best field position to start a drive, and Jay Kaner, 3rd quarterback of the day for the Saints. Out in the flat. He had Mo, didn't take it, and he'll get out of bounds. So Mo is available. He's looking for something else.
It's the same action that we've seen for each quarterback that's come into the game on the very first play. A little play action and trying to get your quarterback warmed up, moving a little bit, find an easy option. He didn't like what he saw, and held on to it, but I'm with you, Joel. I think the easy option right there was just to hit your big tight end Bo, number 80, in the flats.
Take the 5-yard gain. Like a good running play. It'll be 2nd and 10 at the midfield stripe. Akers in the backfield. And he finds his secondary option. He looked at Akers. He goes to Mo. And it's good for about 9. Now our connection to the game sponsored by the Gulf Coast Sports and Entertainment Network.
Tyler Shutt working his way out of some traffic, sidearms it, gunslinger out to Neal, find his way into a 1st down.
And a 1st down on the carry. And by the way, Neal's not hurt his chances at all. And I know he's a draft pick, but he's poised in the backfield. He doesn't rush things, does he?
Good patience, good vision. It's a competitive spot for that place behind Alvin Kamara and Miller.
It's a 1st down at the 39. Here comes the extra pressure. Underneath it goes, and it's complete to Cedric Wilson.
Hayner recognizes where the pressure's coming. Cedric Wilson, good job of snagging a ball that was a little bit behind him, but you see the Broncos bringing pressure off the edge.
They go up to the line without a hustle, and this is what Kellen Moore has been talking about. They want to use tempo. Just keep it off balance for the opposition. Mix things up.
Exactly. I think that's what it is, looking for the mix of tempo.
Hayner on the long snap, or the high snap, throws it away. And fortunately, it wasn't picked off. Now 3rd and 5. And then the Saints have a decision to make with Jake Hayner. Do you run 3 quarterbacks? Are you losing a roster spot because you're carrying 3?
Well, all teams have to get down to 53 by Tuesday, so lots of difficult decisions across the board. That's certainly one of them.
3rd and 5. The big pass trips on the wide side of the field. Pocket opens up and out of the reach of a wide open Pettis. That's tough. The receiver was there. You're down 6. Try to take it down to 3.
Pettis
sailed on him, didn't it?
It did. Just got away from him. Hayner's hands went straight to his helmet, knowing missed opportunity to extend the drive with a wide open receiver on the edge.
Yep. Group is already 3 for 3 on field goals. Charlie Smith tries his first. It's a 52-yard attempt. Yeah. That's a really good job. 52, that was good from 62. That was way up the netties. 3-point ball game in the dome. We started the day with intense competition for the starting quarterback job for the New Orleans Saints. And it hasn't eased up at all. It was interesting. Rattler started the game solid, looked good. Shuck comes in, makes some big plays as well. I wouldn't want to be the one making the decision.
Solid, right? I think that's the best word to describe both. It's not like you would feel like whatever decision is made that it was incredulous, and nobody's going to look at it and say, how could you do that? What a ridiculous pick between the two, because they both had their moments.
Both have produced points in a 3-point deficit for the Saints. Now Smith will kick it away. Blake Watson back deep along with Courtney Jackson. Yeah, it's going to be Watson sliding out across the 25, losing his footing. Well, there's plenty of new faces coming to the Saints. Let's check in with Aaron Summers. Aaron.
The New Orleans Saints went out and made 2 trades this past week. The first one was for center Luke Fortner. Right after they played the Jags, they traded defensive tackle Colin Saunders to them for the center because of the depth issues they've had on the line. He is somebody that said that he has played a ton of reps at that center position, started his first 2 seasons, and then was in a reserve role last year, but he said he was glad he didn't start any fights when he was here that game against the Jags and the Saints, so he was able to come here and not have to say any sorries to anybody, but he's a good addition for the line. And then wide receiver Devon Vele, he is somebody that the Saints just got from the Broncos, which is pretty impressive considering they're playing him right now. And Vele is somebody they were very high on. Chuck actually told me he pulled up some highlights on Vele and was like, oh man, this guy's really got it. He's 6'5". He had a really good season last year in his rookie year, and he adds that big threat in the receiving room that the Saints really need.
Well, it sounds like, John, the Saints were looking for a post-up wide receiver, a guy that could basically turn around, and he had the length against a 6'1" defensive back.
We saw the first series from the Broncos where they scored a touchdown. It was to Cortland Sutton, and he used his huge frame just to block out Blackman, the safety, to make the catch at the goal line. You need a big body like that, and Vele provides something that's missing in that receiver room, not to mention the fact that to have a great run game, you have to have receivers that block, and having a big body like Vele can only help.
Good point. So they helped Watson. It's almost like he turned his ankle on his own, sliding down at the 26-yard line. And the Broncos will have it for the 4th time here in the second half. Their only points in the second half came at a 5-yard touchdown by Estime. He's in the backfield in the eye. And did a good job. Didn't outrun his blocking, did he? Then he got about 7 on 1st down.
Great example of patience by a running back, waiting for the hole to develop, and Estime hits it.
It's going to be 2nd and 3. And what's it going to be? It's a new look for a lot of guys playing the 3-4. Saints have been in the 4-3 forever. As you saw Brandon Staley, defensive coordinator, on the sideline. And good block. Kind of a seal on the outside. So Rowan, the wide receiver, took it in out of Utah State. And 11 yards on the reception, but a seal to get to the boundary.
So many teams do this. It's 2 blockers and a receiver against 3 defensive backs. And it's like the old Oklahoma drill that's been extended. So instead of offensive and defensive linemen, now it's wide receivers and cornerbacks and who can make tackle in space.
Bowman started the game. The rest of the way. He's under the center. Again, good yardage on 1st down. He got about 5. If you can't run the ball, it's going to be difficult. And the Saints will look a little bit better in running the football. This is the 3rd preseason game. And they finally got Neal on the field. And it's been healthy to see him out there.
He's been a nice addition. It would be nice to see this defensive front try to stop the run. Broncos have been able to stay in front of the sticks so far in the past couple of series, at least this half.
On 2nd and 5, looking to go deep, and over the middle, the grab is made. And it's the young man who's been back on kicks, Courtney Jackson, taking it in, showing pretty good hands.
Boy, did Ellinger take a shot at the end of this throw. Feel those PV's finally able to get there, but only after Ellinger finds his receiver across the middle.
It's a 1st down to 31 of the Saints. Starting back at the 26 of the Broncos. Chewing up clock. Saints can afford to get 3s. A touchdown, different story, middle screen. And a good adjustment again. Estime. He's close to 1st down with a gain of 8. You read that block.
Pretty deep room there for the Broncos with running backs. Dobbins, Harvey, Estime.
Inside of 4 minutes left. Rowan on the reception. Illegal.
Ineligible player downfield. Offense, number 64. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Lyman trying to beat the clock. Webb. He got out too soon.
Correction. There is no foul on the play for an ineligible player downfield.
Yeah,
Third down.
It didn't look like he caught it within 5 yards anyway, didn't he?
Behind the line.
Right. So they pick up the flag.
They're still looking for answers.
Right. Preseason all the way around. Pre-scoring comes in for the first time. So rookie out of Mississippi sets up on the left side. Flag on the play. They jump the gun a little bit.
Boy, that changes things.
False start. Offense, number 71. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Xavier Truce, rookie out of Georgia.
I'm familiar with him. You go from 3rd and 1 to 3rd and 6.
He's a bulldog.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He is. Happens to the best of us. I'll say that.
And he came into the league your size, 6'7", 320.
He's a big body.
Out of the gun, 3rd and 6. Big play for the Saints. Middle of the field, wide open. And down to the 11. It is Rowan once again. Rookie out of Utah State who was not drafted, making the most of the opportunities late in this contest, isn't it?
Well, similar to that 4th down where the Saints were able to heat him up and get home. They bring pressure again, have an answer for it on the inside. A little inside man beater.
Get a first down. It's outside of the 11. Saints still with all 3 of their timeouts. Can they hold them to 3 is the key. On the play fake. Shoots is running back. Well, defensively, they set things up for the tie last week, didn't they?
Well, they need the same. Interception right there by Ford, jumping up in the passing lane, created an opportunity for the Saints to tie the game, and then last play, Sanker picks him off. I think there was still a second left on the clock, possibly could have won the game. So a couple of turnovers turned up big. Need the same right here, Joel.
D has to come through. This guy started all the way back at the Denver 26 on the counter action. Estimate inside the 5. So they can still get a 1st and goal inside the 1, but it's 3rd down. They're going to use as much clock as possible. Thomas in on the hit for the Saints.
Yeah, you still have opportunities for the Saints if you can hold them to a field goal. That's not the case if
this is interesting.
Touchdown.
Saints are calling a timeout for defense.
New Orleans, their first timeout of the half. 30 seconds.
And you wonder if they were going to snap the ball anyway, because they got to the line in a hurry and they had a ton of time on the play clock. And it's to their advantage to use time.
The Saints were caught subbing out personnel, kind of pressuring a la Aaron Rodgers. We've seen him do that a ton of times where you catch a defense subbing.
So that is the first time out of the second half for the Saints. Denver's already used one. Get a 3-point ball game, and they get them right back into the huddle. 10th play of the drive on a 3rd and 4. And they have been a very effective team on 3rd down. 7 of 15, not too shabby. And that's the number for Denver so far. And under time, and it's in and out of the hands of the target. He wanted to get it to Lohner. It's a little low, the fastball. And it was a lot of congestion, too.
Interesting concept here. Lohner's right there, bottom of your screen. Block, 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 turn, pivot.
Yeah, Foskey saw it.
I think he either Foskey gets his hands on it or Lohner gets his eyes up, knowing that he's got blockers in front before he even secured the pass. Catch.
Yeah, they're showing they're going to go for it on 4th down. Play clock coming down on Ellinger. Gets it off in time. This is the game for the Saints. Ellinger with a lot of time, buying even more time. And up for grabs, touchdown. Coming through was Rowan again.
Boy,
Came back to help his quarterback.
He threw the ball and a prayer up at the same time. Rowan's able to answer it. Extends the play, nothing there.
Frustration for the Saints. They just couldn't get to the quarterback. But we've seen good footwork by Ellinger the entire contest. They'll go for 2.
Explain this one to me, Joel.
Ultra confidence. That's what it is. Escobar in the backfield. On the play fake. Ellinger goes down. But give the quarterback all the credit. He buys all the time to get away. And then you can say he put it up for grabs, but he knew he had one guy in the area.
Well, you watch the Saints here. They have the coverage. They set it up. Pocket closes, just can't get him down. He extends. Off his back foot, cross in traffic. Finds the home that he was looking for, but wow, frustrating series or way to end a series for the Saints defense. Feel like they had it.
Yeah, he had 2 targets in that neighborhood. You see right there, Rowan coming back on it. And he had the wide receiver behind him. That's an 11-play, 74-yard drive, taking almost 5 minutes off the clock. And it came again. I said they convert on 3rd. Well, they convert on 4th downs too today. And that's been really the difference in this game. Sustaining drives, converting on 3rd downs.
Certainly a huge factor, both sides of the ball, but it's also worth noting a couple of 4th down conversions and attempts from the Broncos, as well as a couple of 2-point attempts from the Broncos. So I wonder what kind of message is trying to be sent there.
It'll be brought back by Dixon. And on his way down. So the Saints will get it. A little more than 2 to play. 2 timeouts on the board, down by 9. It is Mo, the big tight end, the target. But the last drive was Shuck. The touchdown drive for Shuck. He went to multiple receivers and did a good job to escape on his own. Devin Neal with a big play, but the key, the run pass option. He made the right read. An 11-yard touchdown run. It's our drive of the game. Brought to you by Southern Quality Ford. Let the good times roll with your local Southern Quality Ford dealer. So Hayner in there, and we've reached the 2-minute warning. 28-19 Denver. And it is still a toss-up when it comes to the first 2 quarterbacks. Jake's in there now and doing his best, but it's a toss-up when you talk about Shuck and Rattler. So what they've done so far today, and the comparison between the 2, we'll get that when we come back. It's a 28-19 lead. Last preseason game for the Broncos and the Saints. Two minutes to play in the preseason. A couple of weeks away from the start of the regular season. This is the numbers that they produced today. So the first 3 drives, it was Spencer Rattler, and then Tyler Shuck took over. He had the last drive of the first half, the first 3 drives of the second half, and now it's Jake Hayner. And the competition, talking to the coaches, has been healthy. Everybody is very professional. Underneath, complete for a short game. So it's complete. Seth Green takes it in. Hurry up offense, down 9. Still 2 timeouts left. Get a quick score. Underneath. Nice adjustment. And a good block. Is it a block on the back though? No flag. So it's taken in by Marcus Yarnes, the rookie out of Delaware. It's a gain of 13. Side Hainer going deep. He's got him and over shoots him. It was Pettis.
Pettis had a step just outside of his reach. He had gotten behind the defender. Hainer took a shot. See right outside the outstretched arm of Pettis.
So 2nd and 10. Stops the clock. Minute 10 to play. Side of the field. Left tackle on that side is beaten, and Hainer's on his way down. He tried to get rid of it. He had a receiver in the area, and let's see if they're going to say he was down already.
Number 34 was in the area.
So now it's going to be a 3rd down. Exactly a minute to play.
The immediate collapse of the pocket from the left. Hainer tries to extend. Then lucky to get the ball away before he's down. Close.
Left knee. He was down. No challenge.
I wouldn't put it past him.
The ruling on the field is that the ball carrier's knee was down prior to the pass.
So it's going to be a sack. Now the placement, the spot, and it looked like the left knee was down. It was.
It'll be 3rd down at the 33-yard line. In lieu of a 10-second runoff, New Orleans has elected to use their 2nd timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
It's back to the.
Please reset the game clock to 1 minute 4 seconds. 1 minute 4 seconds.
So now can the Saints do enough? And they say 22 actually. Yes, 3rd and 22 after the mark-off. Give him enough time. It's only a 4-man rush. But again, he's in trouble, and now Hainer takes off. They'll bring him a 4th down in about a dozen. Yeah, 4-man rush is getting into the backfield, isn't it?
And not a lot of time for Hainer to do much of anything.
Clock operator, please reset the game clock to 57 seconds. 5-7. Timeout. New Orleans, your 3rd and final timeout of the half. 30 seconds.
So he saw enough of the first 2 quarterbacks to make it very, very difficult for Kellen Moore. Jermon Bushrod, Juan Kincaid will close out the preseason. So the post-game show coming up. I want to thank our crew, Joe Williams, our producer, Mark Grant, our director. Paul Marlowe now on 4th down. And underthrown. Yes, it skipped into with the wide receiver.
Rolling on the field is an incomplete pass. Turnover on downs, Denver football. 1st down.
And he's looking for Daniels. I want to thank everybody who's helped us. Paul Marlowe, Xavier Garcia, Technical Director Jeremy Ward, Mark Raymond, our A1, our audio, Don Vermullen, Blair Gresky, Paul Howard, Lenny Van Gilder, and Tommy Cooper up in the booth with us. Kyle Clore, we couldn't live without Kyle, our technical. Steve Hurlbut, pulling it all together, and then the CEO of Tupelo Hunting. And the one who keeps us all on our toes, Gary Glotson. Thank you. So a couple of snaps, and it's over. But another preseason and a start now that Kellen Moore, and by the way, he's turned 37 just about a month ago. Still the youngest coach in the NFL. He's had some tough calls to make.
Yes, you go into these next couple days and you're trying to fill out the best 53-man roster you can. There will still be decisions to be made once cuts are made and other teams make players available, but lots of choices that need to be made, none more important than who's going to be the starting quarterback.
Right. Sean Payton coming across, knows a few of the guys on the Saints side, just a few.
The hugs and love that I'm sure he's gotten while he's here, at least on the field, should have counted.
Well, you see what the Saints have to start the season. Starting home, and that's needed when you have a young quarterback, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah, the comfort, familiarity of being in a routine, knowing the operation and the whole bit, no matter who they decide, whether it's Rattler or Shuck, just to be home and have that advantage, not be in a hostile environment, should be to their advantage as much as possible. But at the end of the day, you got to go out there and play.
Right.
I think that's what's important is for the entire team, no matter who the quarterback is, to get all the players up to speed as quickly as possible. There's, you're looking at Kelvin Banks right here, a top 10 pick, but rookie at left tackle. So to get everyone comfortable and up and ready and roll.
Hey, Stinch, enjoyed it once again, partner.
It's been fun.
We'll look forward to next preseason as well, and the regular season for the Saints and all that Who Dat Nation. It'll be the post-game show right after the break. For John Stinchcomb, Aaron Summers, our entire crew, I'm Joel Myers. Thanks again, everybody, and so long from New Orleans.